Good morning, afternoon, or evening. I am Mateo360. That is a loud logo. Today, we will be playing a Star Trek game, one of my favorites. Surprising since it comes from Activision. Weird logo. Anyway, this is Bridge Commander. It's a fun little game. But first, story.
Captain's Personal Log, Stardate 54303.1. Our new first officer is working out nicely, quite capable, though mildly lacking in experience. The commander will gain that with time. My ship has been assigned to the Vesuvi system to investigate the unusual solar activity hampering colonization in the Maelstrom. I hope to learn more at the Vesuvi 4 terraforming station, the sole Federation outpost in this region of space. We are also on alert for any Cardassian activity. Despite Starfleet's claims, I doubt we've seen the last of them here.
Icarus 2 is approaching the station. Sir, we're getting some very strange readings from that star.
Commander, emergency message from the captain. On screen.
Star. My God. Its core is destabilizing. Get the ship out of here, now!
Sir, warp engine's not responding. Routing emergency power to impulse engines.
Picking up an unidentified object warping out of the system. I can't get a good reading on it.
We've cleared the system, sir. Setting course for Starbase 12 for emergency repair, as ordered.
So yeah, our first outing as a first officer, and not only do we witness a star exploding, but we lost our captain. Great track record so far! Anyway, yeah, with that sets up the fact that now, since we were the first officer, we will now be promoted to captain. So basically, we get full control of the ship. Now, for the most part, I will let the game speak for itself. It's actually pretty good and has a nice story to it. I do love these visuals of them putting new nacelles on the Galaxy-class ship. Or maybe just fixing the old ones and putting them back on. Nice shot of the name and number. So yeah, pretty simple. Put your name in if you want. I will. Let's see. There we go. Then difficulty settings. First officer's easy, captain's medium, and admiral is like the hardest difficulty. We'll be playing at captain level. Gee, I wonder what ship we get next. This loading screen, for whatever reason, hangs.
Captain on the bridge.
Incoming message from Admiral Liu. On screen.
Captain, I'm glad to see you're settling into the center chair. I'm Admiral Liu, Chief of Starfleet Operations in the Maelstrom. Starfleet has a delicate assignment for you. The impact of the Vesuvi event is still being assessed. The Dragos colony was completely destroyed when the solar wave you reported consumed Vesuvi 2. Both the Geki mining operation and the Haven colony at the edge of the system have suffered severe damage. Proceed to Starbase 12 to take on emergency medical supplies, personnel, engineers, and equipment for the relief of the Geki and Haven colonies. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise will join you aboard Dauntless for this mission. The captain recently was a guest lecturer at the Academy and has accompanied your new first officer from Earth. When your mission is completed, deliver Captain Picard to Birunu Station, where he will be speaking at a symposium. Time is of the essence, Captain. Unnecessary delays will cost lives. Liu out.
Yes, the ruins on Tega 6 are spectacular. I'll be sure to mention your good taste in my formal report.
Thank you, Captain.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard, a pleasure to meet you. I understand you served as this vessel's first officer. I knew Captain Wright. We went to the Academy together. You have my sincere condolences on his loss. However, if he saw fit to select you as his number one, I'm sure you'll do extremely well commanding the Dauntless. I would like to introduce you to your new first officer, Commander Safi Larson.
Captain, I'm looking forward to working with you.
Commander Larson, if you will take your station. Commander Larson will keep track of your mission objectives and current orders, Captain. Your first officer can be the greatest resource at your disposal. As a former first, you've already had that experience yourself. Commander Larson, bring us to Condition Green and ready the ship for departure.
Aye, sir. Condition green. All hands rig for departure.
Chief, please bring the main deflector, warp drive, and impulse engines online, and make sure our warp intermix ratio is at optimum efficiency.
Aye, Captain. Main deflector and main drive systems register is ready.
Mr. Diaz, bring main sensors online. Check that all worker bees in the area are clear.
Yes, sir. Main sensors online. Registering all worker bees out of dry dock area, Captain.
Mr. Savali, please bring the structural integrity fields online and make sure our tactical systems are primed and ready.
Shields and defensive systems registering is fully operational, sir. We have a full torpedo complement and the structural integrity fields are engaged for transit.
Ensign Lomar, clear all moorings and take us out easy. 1/4 impulse. Please signal the quartermaster. We're heading out.
Signaling dry dock. All moorings cleared. 1/4 impulse. Aye.
A Federation vessel is only as good as its crew. This point cannot be overstated. It is this interaction with a well-trained crew that allows a starship to operate with a singular purpose.
So yeah, Captain Picard kind of took over the ship there for a minute. I had no control over that whatsoever.
Captain, the bridge is yours. If you would like, take a moment to inspect each of the stations. If you would like any advice, feel free to consult with me.
And yeah, we will talk with each of the crew stations briefly.
Captain, it is always a good idea to check with your first officer to confirm your current orders.
Now, most of the time I'll be using keyboard
Your
shortcuts.
orders, Captain? Sir, we should head to Starbase 12.
Otherwise, I can just click on them if I want to.
Sir, we should head to Starbase 12 to pick up the supplies.
May I suggest testing the other mode of Starship operation, the direct tactical interface? Use the spacebar on your command console to toggle between the two views.
Yeah, that tactical view is basically switching from the bridge to outside the ship. We'll see more of this view when we're in battle. Otherwise, we'll mostly just be on the bridge. Now, this tactical view is actually very helpful for battles, but we'll get to that when we get there.
Congratulations, sir. Captain Wright would be very proud of you. Yes, Captain?
Yeah, each of the stations...
Shall I set a course for Starbase
Well
12,
then,
sir?
let's get underway. I'm sure your chief engineer is anxious to make sure the warp engines are functioning correctly.
Shall I set a course for Starbase 12, sir?
Not just yet.
Welcome back, sir. Those captain's pips suit you. Your orders, sir? Tactical systems are looking good, sir. I think she's ready for anything.
Each station has its own congratulations for us being promoted.
Congratulations, Commander. I mean Captain. Your orders, sir. It'll be good to be back in space again, sir.
Congratulations, Captain. Your orders, sir? This first warp jump will give me a chance to look over the intermix ratio. Simulations are never as good as the real thing.
Her head turns like an owl.
Your orders, sir. Course laid in. Yes, sir.
We will also be hearing from our ensign there quite a bit, because we have to talk to her a lot.
We have arrived at Starbase 12, Captain. Shall I bring us in closer to the Starbase, sir?
We will not be able to initiate a dock until we are closer to the Starbase. Ensign Lomar can bring us in closer by flying to the Starbase nav point.
This is the only time
orders,
we
sir.
have to do this when we come to Starbase 12.
Yes, sir.
The rest of the time it'll warp us in right next to the station. They're just doing this for nav point tutorial. Yes, Captain Picard. He is actually voiced by Patrick Stewart. I'm glad they're actually able to get him for this.
Incoming
orders,
message
sir?
from Starbase 12, sir.
Good day, Dauntless. I'm
Your
Commander
orders, sir.
Graff, commander here at Starbase 12. It's good to see your ship back in one piece. We've assembled the supplies for your mission, Captain. We will transfer them over to your cargo base once you've docked.
Shall I initiate docking procedures, Captain? Captain?
That commander seems a little too smug.
Docking sequence initiated.
Starbase 12 is the main staging area for Federation operations in the Maelstrom. Any damage repairs or resupply needs you have will be attended to here.
Basically, any damage will be fixed. If we're low on torpedoes, they'll refill them. Very simple.
Welcome to your home away from home, Captain.
We are secured to take on ship supplies, sir.
Transferring supplies.
Cargo Base 3 and 4 report supplies have been received and stowed for transport.
Transporter Room 2 reports that the medical and engineering teams have beamed aboard, sir.
Get used to the docking and undocking scenes, because there's a lot of story necessity for docking. Anyway, we can actually move on to our first mission now.
Yes,
What is our first
Captain?
mission?
I'm sorry, Captain, but I don't have any suggestions at this time. Sir, we need to deliver the supplies to the Haven colony on Vesuvi 6.
Your orders, sir. Course laid in. Aye, Captain.
Yeah. If you never have any idea what to do, just check your objectives. They're usually pretty clear. These screens. These signify when we jump between missions, which is basically how they split up the game. You have episodes and missions within each.
We have arrived at the edge of the Vesuvi system, sir. We are being hailed by the Haven colony. Opening channel.
This is Director Tobin Soames. It's good to see you, Dauntless. We have quite a situation on our hands. The Vesuvi event has sent stellar debris into our region. Some larger pieces have settled near our orbital facility. This debris will make it impossible for the incoming supply convoy to transfer their cargo. Before you beam down the relief supplies to the surface, please clear the area around the orbital facility. Contact me when you are done. Thank you. Soames out.
Not the most challenging assignment, but it'll be a good weapons test.
Perhaps now would be a good time to look over the tactical systems.
Yeah, we are skipping the tactical tutorial because I can explain it much better.
Captain? Red alert, shields up.
Your orders, sir?
You must go into Red Alert to have your weapons active, although you can go into the engineering menu
Engaging
and
to destroy, Captain.
bring it up. Now, I mostly play on manual fire because that means I get to control when things shoot. Most of the time, yeah, your tactical officer's an idiot.
Moving into attack range.
And you'll mostly want to stay in this view because that shows you where your ship physically is in relation to your targets.
Moving into attack range.
If you stay on the bridge, it'll constantly have your target in the view screen, and your only hint for where you are in relation to the target is the blue blue cones there on
Sweeping
the
through phaser arcs.
phaser menu there. They're in the bottom right. And you can control the ship yourself if you use the WASD keys, and 1 through 0 for speed. But if you do that, you get immediately taken out of the attack maneuver, and it's harder to line up yourself than it is to have the tactical officer line up for you automatically. Such as here, I probably would have already been in the position if I let him do it.
That's the last of the debris.
Shall I raise the colony, sir?
Your orders, Captain? Cancel red alert.
Captain?
Most of the time now, I'll also be using...
Shall I hail the Haven colony, sir?
I'll be using shortcut keys
Sir,
for red
the
alert.
orbital facility is currently unmanned.
I always get
Hailing
confused
frequencies
which
open.
to hail.
Thank you for clearing the station, but it looks like we have bigger problems now. The sensors on our orbital facility have just picked up a number of planetary fragments on a collision course with our planet. We are already in a weakened state after the Vesuvi event, and it's doubtful we could take many hits.
Director Soames, get your people into whatever shelters you have available. We'll do what we can from up here.
Thank you, Dauntless. Soames out.
I recommend an initial scan of the area so we can get a better idea of what we're up against.
Yes, sir. Initiating scan.
I'm saying it a lot.
Picking up the fragments on our sensor, sir. Looks like we have a total of 5 large planetary fragments in 2 groups. Looks like they're all headed toward Haven. If we can get to them quickly enough, there's a pretty good chance we can take them all out.
Stellar cartography should be able to present a good idea of the fragment's relative distance to the colony.
Should we go to red alert, sir? Red alert, shields up.
Yeah, I'm saying get used to seeing a lot of things, but it's actually...
I could bring us within range
Engaging
of
to
fragments,
destroy,
sir.
Captain.
We can break them up with weapons fire once we're in range.
People love to talk over each other. Yeah, you'll see a lot of these menus over and over again throughout the course of this game. It's actually very procedural of how you do a lot of things.
Moving into attack range.
So, weapons. Phasers are generally what you're going to be using. They can do
Perhaps
decent
Lieutenant
damage.
Savali should be given the order to destroy the target.
Screw that, I'm using it.
To get a higher recharge rate on the phasers, Chief Brex can boost power to the weapons array. Be careful not to rob power from other essential systems, though. By taking an
Engaging to
active
destroy,
role in
Captain.
allocating power between your shields, weapons, and propulsion systems, your vessel's capabilities can be augmented to suit the situation.
Generally, I won't be messing around with engineering very much, but occasionally
Falling back
you'll
for an
see
attack
this.
run.
But yeah, torpedoes in general are very powerful, but are prone to miss a lot. You'll see them missing quite a bit in just this one little segment. Phasers, you can
Engaging to
see...
destroy, Captain.
You can see how much power each phaser bank has by the little model there in the lower right. The blue cone indicates ones you can use at the moment. Green means it's perfectly charged, and when
Moving
it
into
disappears, you can't use it. You can change the intensity of your phaser. I don't know why you would, but you can. And you can also change torpedoes when we get different types of torpedoes. We also have access to our tractor beam in this menu, but that rarely gets used. I don't know if it's because I'm playing on Captain difficulty or I'm just a bad shot with my torpedoes at the moment, but I have a hard time with these fragments this time, and I usually don't. I think it is partially, though, because I'm in manual drive and I'm not having my tactical officer.
Sir, I've got a large fragment 100 kilometers from the planet. Collision is imminent.
Engaging to destroy, Captain.
Yeah, basically, even if you hit a speed key, it will take you out of attack maneuver, so you have to be very careful.
Moving into attack range.
This will be much more interesting when we actually
Might
have...
I recommend diverting some power to the impulse engines? It will increase the ship's speed and decrease the time it takes to get from one set of fragments to another.
Moving into attack range.
This will be much more interesting when we actually have things firing back at us. But that's still a while away.
Moving into attack range.
Even though my phasers are at full intensity, the damage seems to vary from things I'm shooting.
Lining up rear torpedo tubes.
And, that one was my fault. I didn't let him line up the torpedo tubes properly.
Moving into attack range.
Sir, I have a group of fragments heading toward the orbital facility.
That's unfortunately these ones we're firing at right now. Yeah, I think part of the reason I'm having so much trouble is I'm not used to using tactical view as much. Normally, when I play, I actually keep it on the view screen, which is a dumb thing to do. This is actually the better way to fight, because you can see where you are.
Engaging to destroy, Captain.
Even though I clicked attack maneuver, I immediately hit a speed button, which
Another
screwed
fragment
me
is
off.
closing
Engaging
on the
to
planet,
destroy,
Captain. We don't have much time.
But something interesting does happen if you let one of the fragments, or both of these, hit the orbital facility. Something I never knew you could get a tutorial on at this point.
Engaging to destroy, Captain.
At this point, I'm just trying my best going, blow up, blow up, blow up! Unfortunately,
Moving
again,
into attack,
Captain.
My
One of the
torpedoes
fragments
missed.
has collided with the
Sir,
orbital facility.
colonists need that
Its orbit
station
is
for their
decaying
terraforming
rapidly.
operations.
Its
It
current
is not
rate
an
of decay
acceptable
will send it
target.
into the Haven colony, sir.
If that station were to hit the planet, it would be catastrophic.
If your helmsman intercepts the facility, Lieutenant Savali should be able to lock onto it with a tractor beam.
That's a friendly target, sir. Holding position.
Yes, I know it's a friendly target. Now get close to it, please. Yes, we actually get a brief, well, sort of a brief tractor tutorial at this point. Usually, though, I don't let any of the fragments
Stand down weapons.
hit.
All stations, yellow alert.
Unfortunately, the range on the tractor beam is kind of, iffy. You have to be really close to activate it. So you can see I'm like almost 20 kilometers away from it, and it's still not activating.
Aye, sir. Locking on with tractor beam. Tractor beam engaged. The station's orbit has been stabilized, sir. Shall I disengage the tractor beam? Sir, we did it. I'm reading no other context heading toward the planet.
We're
Aye,
being
sir.
hailed by the
Locking
Haven
on
colony.
with tractor beam.
Opening channel.
Tractor beam engaged.
The people of Haven owe you and your crew a debt of gratitude, Captain. We owe our lives to your courage and quick thinking. Again, we thank you. If you will put your ship into orbit, we can transfer the relief supplies.
Standing by to establish orbit, Captain. Your orders, Captain. Standard orbit. Aye, sir. Entering standard orbit. Incoming transmission.
I am sending coordinates for your people to beam down. My sub-directors will advise them when they arrive.
Coordinates received, Captain. Our teams will begin beaming down supplies and personnel immediately. Lowering shields for transport.
Admiral Liu told us what happened to the Dragos colony. We've been unable to contact Mr. Takahara on the Geki mining colony. I can only hope their outpost survived the effects of the disturbance.
Sir, all supplies and equipment have been beamed down.
Cancel
Again,
yellow
thank
alert.
you, Dauntless. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't arrived when you did.
Transport complete. We can get underway, Captain.
Incoming message from Starfleet, sir.
Captain, one of our ships, the Sovereign, is on its way to our space dock facilities for refitting. She's manned by a skeleton crew and is being escorted by 2 Klingon birds of prey. Her captain, Jonathan Soto, has reported a breakdown in her warp drive, and she's had to lay over in the Terran system. The Klingons are under orders to divert to Birnu Station and will not be able to stay with her. However, they will be able to transport Captain Picard there with them. Rendezvous with the Sovereign in the Terran system and join the escort. Once the Sovereign is underway again, you are to continue your mission and deliver the relief supplies to the Geki colony. Liu out.
Your orders,
Yeah.
sir.
Director Soames will say the exact same thing even if
Course laid in.
you don't let anything hit
Aye,
anything.
Captain. Leaving orbit.
So yeah. This is the third and final mission for episode 1. Most episodes will be much longer, so this is I think the only video where we'll have a full episode. Maybe the last
Approaching
one
the
too.
Terran system, sir.
Any sign of the Sovereign and her escorts, Mr. Diaz?
I have 3 ships holding in orbit around Terran 2, Commander.
Your orders, Captain.
We'll get to this later, but we can
Your orders, sir.
go deeper into systems.
Initiating scan.
Your orders, Captain?
That's the Sovereign, Captain. And 2 birds of prey.
Shall I hail the Sovereign, sir? Captain? Channel open. Captain Soto, sir. On screen.
Congratulations on your promotion to command, Captain. I'm glad to see you here. Repairs are progressing, but we only have a skeleton crew on board, so it's taking some time. We've had to take the impulse engines offline, so we're immobile until the repairs are complete.
This would have been only a ferrying assignment. He's undoubtedly short-handed.
Incoming message, sir. Captain Draxon of the Rancouf, sir. On screen.
Hail, Captain. Your timely arrival frees my ship and the Traor to depart for Biranu Station. However, there is something you must know before we leave. My tactical officer reported suspicious readings on his scanners on our way here.
Suspicious in what way, sir?
2 very faint readings, fading in and out. He thinks we may have been followed by at least 2 vessels, cloaked.
Your scanners could be out of sync.
Not on my ship, Lieutenant. No! I speak truth. I would stay, but our duty demands we reach Biranu Station on our timetable. Be on guard, Captain.
Excuse me,
Draxon
sirs,
out.
but we have company. 2 warbirds uncloaking to starboard.
They're hailing us, sir. On screen.
Greetings, Captain. I am Terran, commanding the warbird Soryak.
With respect, Captain, do you have some business with us?
The Romulan Star Empire is well aware of the incident in the Vesuvi system. That was troubling. Now we have further cause for concern. The Enterprise has been patrolling the Maelstrom for quite some time. Now Starfleet has introduced this second Sovereign-class ship to the Maelstrom, a somewhat disputed area. We must question the reasons for its presence and its relationship to the Vesuvi event.
I can assure you neither Starfleet nor the Federation knows any more than you do about the cause of the Vesuvi incident.
2 Sovereign-class vessels raise vast suspicions, Commander. Suspicions we are prepared to act on. Now.
Sir, the Klingons have raised their shields and are powering up weapons.
Let us see if these Romulans are truly prepared to act on these veiled threats.
Who is threatening whom, Klingon?
I do not threaten. I challenge.
Klingons have opened fire, Captain.
Very well. We shall play.
Firing on the Sovereign. The Sovereign has taken some hits.
Incoming
Red alert,
transmission.
shields up.
Thomas, we're losing shield protection. Down 25%. I'm shifting more power to the shields, but I don't think they'll hold.
The Dauntless is yours, Captain.
So yeah, our first real battle.
Engaging to destroy,
And
Captain.
it's against some Romulans. They just kind of throw you right into it. Romulans are kind of hard to fight because they have a tendency to cloak in and out. And when they cloak, you lose your target and you immediately stop
Warbirds
going
uncloaking
anywhere.
again. They're firing.
Captain Draxon on screen, sir.
Engaging to destroy, Captain.
Dauntless, we are attacking the Hademach. Join us. Out.
Report, Lieutenant.
Looks like the Klingons are doing a good job at distracting the Warbird.
While the Romulans are busy with the birds of prey, we can take a moment to plan our attack. Your phaser fire will be more effective if you target
Their bottom
specific
shield is
subsystems
draining,
on the
sir.
warbirds.
Yeah, we don't really...
Moving into attack range.
There's only... Sometimes it's necessary to target specific subsystems and use it to disable ships. But that happens very rarely. Most of the time it's destroy the ship if you can. So the main point of these fights is to, as I said, destroy the other ship. Usually your best targets are the front of the ship where the bridge on most alien ships are, and the center where usually the warp core is. If you can destroy the warp core or the bridge, the ship is usually done for. The same applies to our ship, though. If our warp core or bridge gets destroyed, we're finished.
We have collapsed their bottom shield.
Basically, anything that applies to the enemy ship that I say also applies to us. Now, I don't think the Sovereign actually does anything in this fight since, as I said, it's manned by a skeleton crew. But the
Engaging to destroy, Captain.
The birds of prey are actually very helpful allies in this, but most enemies have a tendency to target you over anything else, which can be kind of annoying, especially if you're taking a lot of damage.
Lining up forward torpedoes.
Somehow at point-blank range, rear torpedoes missed.
Damaging the cloaking device will put the Romulans
Sir,
at
the right shield has failed.
Yeah, we can target the cloaking device, but usually it's a lot faster to just
Sweeping
try
through
to
phaser arms.
destroy the ship. Trying to target specific systems and disable them makes the fights take much longer than they should. And if a ship is cloaking, that is a very good time to try to fire at them because their shields have to go down.
Their left shield is draining, Captain.
Also, planets. If you go near one, you get this cool atmosphere effect. Though you can crash on planets if you get too close.
Lining up rear torpedo tubes.
We've taken some damage, Captain. I would recommend that you check with your chief and prioritize repairs.
Now, there are three things we basically want to keep, well, not three, but two big things we want to make sure they always focus on. Hull and warp core. Sensor array is kind of big because, if our sensors go down, then we can't actually see anything.
Target hull integrity
like,
at 75%.
basically all we will see are the stars and planets. We can't actually fight anything. Then just in general, if any of your weapons get disabled...
Phaser fire will damage a vessel's subsystems. Full power phasers will weaken the enemy's shields.
If any of your weapons get disabled, you can't use them until you go back to Starbase 12 and get them fixed. But
lining up forward torpedo.
In general, you usually end up back at Starbase 12.
Looks like we've bloodied their noses a bit.
They're turning about. And cloaking.
We've taken some damage, Captain. I would recommend that you check with your chief and prioritize repairs.
That's it for this battle. You can hear the warbirds warping out.
Where are they? Come on, uncloak again.
You don't get your wish, Ensign. Looks like they've gone.
Klingon birds of prey uncloaking.
Captain Draxon, sir. On screen.
It's past time for us to go on to Biranu Station, Captain. Although, this has been an interesting skirmish.
I am also due at Biranu Station, Captain Draxon. With your permission, I will transfer to your ship for the final leg of the journey.
We will be honored by your presence, Captain. Make your preparations and transport to us when you are ready. Draxon out.
I'll take my leave of you now, Captain. Good luck.
So, yeah, this is the last we get of Captain Picard for the rest of the game. He's only here to dish out tutorials. But we can watch him get on the turbo lift.
Transporter room reports Captain Picard is ready to beam over to the Rancoof, sir. Lowering shields for transport. Transporting now. Captain Picard has transferred to the Klingon ship.
Long-range scanners indicate another ship entering this system. It's the Zukov.
Incoming message from the Zukov, sir. Captain Verada in command, on screen.
Dauntless, we have been assigned to complete the escort of the Sovereign to space dock. We will stand by until she is ready. You may proceed to the Vesuvi system to supply the surviving colonies there. Verada, out.
Transmission from Sovereign, sir. On screen.
We've been able to make sufficient repairs to allow us to warp, Captain. We're heading on to Starbase 12 with the Zukov. Thanks for your help. Soto out.
The Klingons are leaving, sir.
I suggest we do the same. We have to complete our run to the Vesuvi system, sir. Starfleet regulations require us to drop out of warp at the edge of the Vesuvi system before proceeding to the inner planets.
So yeah, after
Yes,
that
Captain?
long bit, this is the end of this episode, actually. The second we warp
Course
out, it
laid in.
ends.
Aye, aye.
So I will see you next time when we continue our voyages.